Well, the death toll from the earthquake in Morocco on Friday night has risen to over 2,000. We understand that over 2,000 people are also injured. The North African country has declared 3 days of national mourning. Let's go live now to Alex Cadier, who's in Marrakech for us. Alex, good morning to you. Thanks indeed for your time. Not such a good morning, for the many of people who've been affected, of course, by this earthquake. Just paint a picture for us of what's happening on the ground at the moment.
Well, you still have a sense here in Marrakech of a city on eggshells. All night, last night, people were sleeping on the streets in their thousands. You said families, grandparents, grandchildren together, sleeping on whatever they could do, finding little bits of grass, finding parks. They were not comfortable being in their homes. They were too scared. So you do have a worry. We know that some people in Marrakech felt tremors overnight, and the big concern is that their houses might not be able to stand up to an aftershock. That is the main concern. But there's also a fear for the reputational damage. We were here reporting, and locals came up to us saying, look, we need tourists to come to Marrakech, and please tell the world, please tell your viewers in South Africa that actually Marrakech has had some damage, but things are okay. You can see the mosque behind me. That's obviously very striking. It had a tower about 3 meters above the roof. That collapsed onto the ground behind me. But that cleanup operation happened quite quickly. The piles of rubble have been put together and will be taken away, and the repairs can follow after that. So Marrakech has been shaken, to be sure, but certainly not deterred, and still encouraging people to come. The picture south of here, about an hour south of here, in the Atlas Mountain, in rural areas, that is much more difficult, much more problematic. That is where rescue efforts are focusing and where they're hoping to save as many lives as possible.
Is there any humanitarian assistance, that is being provided at this stage?
Well, there's a big push for that. There's a big push for international humanitarian assistance. There was a little bit of a delay in the Moroccan authorities asking for help from their international partners. That has now happened. We know, for example, that Spain is being asked and has offered support and equipment, and crews are coming down from Spain to support with the recovery effort. Other countries, Algeria, the neighboring country which broke diplomatic relations 2 years ago, well, they've offered to open up their airspace and their roads for humanitarian convoys and offered aid of themselves. So there's a real sense of international solidarity to help Morocco rebuild as quickly as possible. One final point, as you can see around me, a lot of historic buildings here in Marrakech. UNESCO saying they are drawing up a plan to help this city rebuild its heritage sites. Some of the buildings, some of the walls that have been damaged are over 1,000 years old, and that is something that will be very, very serious and perhaps quite hurtful for the people here in Marrakech.
Yeah. Any indication at this stage in terms of, those who are still in hospital? The reports that we have at this stage is that more than 2,000 people have passed away, and there are an additional 2,000 people that are receiving medical attention. Do we know what the situation is there? Some of the hospitals, of course, that need to, attend to those who've been injured. Has there been any impact to facilities like that?
Well, there's been a big impact in so much that we know the King of Morocco has ordered the military here to open up a field hospital specifically for that purpose, to be able to handle a surge in patients coming in. There are no details yet on exactly the condition of all those people. 2,000 cases is quite hard to keep track of, but there's certainly a preparation for more. There is a worry that those numbers will go up. Authorities are pushing into those hard-to-reach mountainous areas about an hour south of here, and they are very much concerned about finding more people, more injured people, and bringing them here to Marrakech. This will be the hub, this will be the medical hub. Those hospitals really bearing the brunt of this disaster, and the Moroccan military setting up a bigger field hospital just to deal with that influx as well. But certainly the picture is evolving every minute, every hour, and we will bring you more as soon as we have it.
Algeria also making an undertaking there, Alex, to open an airspace for humanitarian organizations to be able to fly into the country. Is this happening? Do we have any idea where that is now?
Well, that's certainly a big diplomatic move from Algeria, and if you come into Marrakech Airport, you will see a lot of cargo planes, a lot of military planes coming in with medical supplies, coming in with supplies for rescuers and for really accelerating that rescue operation wherever possible. And so you're starting to see that trickle in, that international help which has been offered in the last 24 hours and welcomed now by the Moroccan government. So the impact of that will be felt in the next few hours, but certainly starting to get up to speed and starting to get on the ground to make as much of an impact as possible.
Alex Cadier, thank you very much indeed, live to us from Marrakech. And that's, of course, reporting on the after effects of that earthquake in Morocco. We understand the death toll at about 2,000 other people are said to be injured. But as Alex has indicated, that very difficult to keep track of where the situation is now in terms of those who are still in hospital.